welcome to another episode. This time after a big break. Hope you enjoyed your break if you had one, and I'm going to say that I enjoyed my break very much. It's always nice to celebrate some Christmas and also to just be and not having to do work or having to do a lot of things. It's just you and what you want to do, except for the ones you need to do when it comes to Christmas traditions and everything like that. We're back here in the Season 3 world, and I just want to start off with a pretty large project today. I'm going to show you a little bit of the beforehand though, before we actually start building, and that's because I had a little bit of a snag when making this. So to begin with, I had placed down some dirt here. Beforehand we had a line going here. That line has been moved over here, where I've just placed down one layer of dirt and then lighten up everything here so we don't have a mob farm. And then I decided for what I wanted to do back here, and that's one big greenhouse, which is going to house both a little bit of crop farming, not automatic, but something like that, but also some bee farms for both honeycomb and honey bottles. But when I designed the whole thing, I went into the creative world as I usually do and design it. And what you have in a creative world is infinity amount of space. So I'm just going to go over here and I'm going to turn the placement on for the whole greenhouse. And as you can see here, it is very big, and yeah, it looks pretty good. I just want to show you what I envision here, because this is what I saw in front of me when I was designing it and everything. So if you come up here at the entrance, you can see that some of the little bit of what is supposed to be the greenhouse is poking through. So you can see a little bit of a dome shape, you can see a little bit of the roof here. And that was what I was aiming for. It should be something that, oh, you see a structure behind the trees, but you don't see the whole thing. And that's what I was after. But as I've said, I didn't think of the size of this thing. So as you can see here, it clips into the mountain a little bit, and that's because I wanted to place it here. I tried to place it a bit further down here, so this part were around here instead, where it juts a little bit inside of the mountain here, so nothing, so I don't have to remove a lot of stone and everything here. But then when I moved it forward, the entrance that is over here, it got pushed right through these trees, so the entrance were around this line here. That didn't look good, so instead I went for putting it behind me and everything like that. But as you can see, it is large and very big, so yeah, a little bit of a mishap on my part. But I don't want to shorten it or make it smaller, because I really like the design. So instead we are going to terraform and make the landscape work with it. With the free cam you can also see the very big amount of things. We have the same thing on both sides here. It's very symmetrical, and then you can see that it juts out from over our platform. The very big amount. I think I've only covered half of the building. Yeah, exactly half of the building, because this is the middle part. So one half of the building is on the ground and one is right now floating, except for one of these things here. So what I need to do is start to actually terraform this bit. Probably going to do it in time-lapse form, otherwise I'm just going to show you guys how it looks in comparison. And then we're going to start with building the actual project with the greenhouse here and see where it takes us. Okay, so a small update on how the terraforming is going, and I just wanted to show you this before I actually smack up a whole greenhouse here, which is going to be very close by to all of the different stuff that I have done so far. So to begin with, I have made place for the greenhouse by carving out a little bit of a nook in the mountain here. As you can see, it is a rather triangular shape, or very straight lines at least. You can see here where I've gone in and carved out a lot of the things. Before it looked similar to this one, but a little bit further out. So I decided to go for having some sort of hanging out instead, to try and not to flatten out everything, because this mountain is pretty tall, so I didn't want to change out too much, because terraforming is not very fun. I think sadly it's one of the things that I don't like about Minecraft. It can be nice to do a little bit of it, but in these large amounts you don't want to. So I went in with a little bit of this, and I am going to change it up as I go, because as you can see we have this very pyramid-like shape, and it's very straight lines for some parts. So I think that I need to change it out, but I'm happy about the result as of right now. We still have a little bit of a difference rather than having flat walls that I had before. The same thing I did on this side. I started over here and went with that one afterwards, and I'm a little bit more happy about how this looks. We have the same type of thing here, because I flattened out a lot of it and then decided to, yeah, we need to make some sort of transition here. So we have all of these stones that sort of bear up the whole mountain, and then we have dirt on top. And I tried to accent it by having a little bit of moss-covered cobblestone, and other cobblestone that has been eroded, or maybe the stone has been smoothed out from this, something like that. And then showing it off by having some rooted dirt as well, and roots from that dirt, so we can get a little bit of variance, and also to show that, oh, it's greenery here, and it's flowing out and everything. So it happens something in here. And like I said, I'm a little bit more happy about how this turned out, but it was much smaller, so both that I have made it a little bit more layered and not so tall of a hill, you should say. And then also I've tried to make it a little bit more interesting and not the same flat. You can see, of course, where I've taken a little bit of this point where I can't go further, because then I'm going to be too close to the actual greenhouse. But when you look at like this, it doesn't look that flat, since we have these things that juts in, and then those things that juts out. So very different, and I think that I like it. We're going to, of course, tweak here a little bit as well. I think I need to tweak this hill a little bit, so it looks a little bit better right now. But that's something for future me to worry about. Right now we need to smack up or build up our greenhouse. That's going to take a while. I have 9 shulker boxes filled with the materials inside the base, which we are going to use. Okay, so the whole framework for our greenhouse is finished, and as you can see, we have a roof over our heads and all of the walls are up. And it just has been a couple of hours, and yeah, it looks really nice, I think. I really love the whole thing going on. I have right now gotten myself inside because of course it's raining, but also because it's here we need to focus our next part of this episode, where I need to get myself all of the interior blocks and start making some flower beds and gardening beds and everything like that. We also need to prep this middle area for the actual bee farm, where I'm going to put all of the things there, and also the collection system that's actually going to be collecting everything and put it up in the middle over there in the hole. You can probably see a little bit at least. So yeah, I have a lot of things to do, and we'll see each other once that has been done. Okay, so for you guys it has been a short while, but for me it has been a couple of days where I have been working on the greenhouse and it is finished. We have a lot of stuff going on right now, and like usual when I finish a project, I want to give you guys a little bit of an immersed feeling, give it a little bit of a vibe, so to speak. So hopefully I will get that across. Right now we are outside inside our garden, and I just want to show you the path that I made for the greenhouse. I have put in all sorts of different trees and extended this forest bit that I had here. If you remember correctly, the forest were just a couple of trees inside, one or two maybe, but now we have a lot more trees. You can see a little bit hint of the actual greenhouse. If I check other angles, you are going to see a little bit of the copper roof. Sometimes you can see it a little bit in between the trees. But right now we're going to take the path that I made going down it. And I decided to go for a little bit the same feeling that I have in the other parts of the forest, where I have lit up everything so nothing can spawn in here. But I also made it so we have a little bit of a natural pathway and not this straight one that I had over there. And maybe it's some sort of thing, but yeah, something like that. So here you have the entrance to our garden or greenhouse, where I put in some doors and everything like that. And inside we have a little bit less things maybe than you were hoping for, but we have a lot of things going on here. We have the bee farm, of course, that's going to be working, and I see that one of the bees, yeah, no, it was not stuck there. It was one of the big things that I had going on when I made this in creative. I noticed that the bees got stuck above the ladders there, because at first I had the trapdoors one block above, so the bees could get stuck on top of the ladder and not get down. So that's why it looks like it does over there. But yeah, we have everything in the middle here for the bees. Of course, on this half, I think, yeah, this half makes honeycomb, and that half makes honey bottles that you can then use to make honey blocks and everything like that. So not much to talk about that. I have shown these bees before, or bee farms before, when I made it in my first base. So if you want to check out that episode, if you want a more feeling for how these farms actually work, even though you can probably see it. Around this middle circle here, I went with some sort of flower beds and something like maybe the green, the gardener or something like that. Wanted to make some sort of feeling for the flowers, and maybe have made all sorts of them. And I have every single Minecraft flower in here. I should have at least, for the exception of the new types which we have on the outside here. We have over all of the different flowers. I had a flower biome pretty close by, so I could get all of them. I even had some more space left, so I went with putting down some of the saplings. And why they look like this, you can see that the spruce, oak and dark oak saplings look a little bit wonky, and also the cherry blossoms. That's because I have a resource pack from Vanilla Twigs that makes the growth of a sapling look a little bit more, so it not goes from this small version to the big tree. And on all of these, except for the azalea ones, of course, I have put down some string so it doesn't get the trees to grow, because we don't want a lot of trees in here. I just wanted the saplings so you can get a little bit of a feeling for it. And of course over here we have the same thing. The only thing I have here is that the lily of the valley, I didn't have that much of that flower, so I need to get those in a later stage. But I put down them at least, and they are here. Maybe they are in the making of making something or growing. On each side of the greenhouse, it's completely mirrored of each other, so it looks the same on both sides, except for these two flowers that we have here. We have the pitcher pod on this side, and we have the torch flower on that side, but otherwise it looks completely the same. So I went with putting down all of the crops as well. So we have sweet berries, we have some beetroot, carrot, potato, and then we have some wheat and some netherwort, so I can get a little bit of a farm going for netherwort as well when I need it for making potions and everything. And then on each side we also have the tall flowers. So here we have roses, and I think these are the peonies. Yeah, they are the peonies. And on the other side, of course, we have lilacs and sunflowers. So everything is in here. I think, at least, I don't think I have missed anything. So yeah, and like I said, looks completely the same mirrored on that side. We only have different tall flowers and a torch flower instead, and I really like them. I need to incorporate those a little bit more in my builds in the future. And then, well, what do we have? Because you can see that the water elevator is going up here, and that's because all of the things that the bees produce for us is going down into these chutes. So I think, yeah, it was just the bees going in. Right now we are on a little down low, and the bees have to gather a little bit more before they can actually get stuff going on. But I have hoppers down below here. You can see them are a little bit hidden underneath these trapdoors, and those things are actually connected to one system down here with an automatic dropper, and that system of course goes up above here because I wanted to make some use of the dome shape that I had going on. Up here is very little. I have only lit it up and then put a collection system inside of here, so you can see the water going in and some chests, and you can see that we have a lot of honeycomb and a bottle of honey bottles as well. I have emptied this out a little bit. I think, yeah, that's just extra bottles. I have emptied out this a few times, and yeah, it works very well. There we got a honey bottle too. So I really like this sort of contraption, and I need to put more stuff in here, I think. I can't just have the collection system. I don't know what yet. Maybe we were going to make some sort of where we grow more plants or something like that. Maybe a sugarcane or bamboo farm or something could be made useful in here. So we keep all of the plant stuff on the same side and on the same place. Because what I'm going to be building in the future is also going to tie into the greenhouse feeling. So maybe something like that. We'll see. Down here though, it's all finished. I have put in all of the different stuff, and I hope that it looks really nice. I'm really in love with it. Like I said, it's very big, and it's a little bit hard to actually fill everything, but I really like it. So with that, I hope that you have enjoyed this episode. It was the first one after the break, and I hope that it has been enjoyable, and that you will hopefully subscribe so you don't miss future episodes. Maybe even like and comment on the episodes so you tell me what you liked about it. We'll see each other. Goodbye.